Hey everybody, Adam Perry here with TrueDFS, and I am going to go over today's 5-game NHL DFS slate. Per usual, it will be a brief look at my process. It is a process video, not a picks video. So you'll see what I do using SaberSim. You'll see how I use the projections. You'll see some of the stuff I do with news, and we'll do the same thing we do every day. So if you've watched this once, you've probably got an idea of what I do. If you've watched it 3 times, you've seen it. And you know how you can integrate what I do in my process with what you do. And you don't have to watch this day in and day out, right? Because I'm not going to talk about who's a good player and you should pick and this and that. And that's why we could be brief, right? And this is how I build lineups right before lock using the tools that we have at TrueDFS, which are Goldie's projections, Sheets' projections, SaberSim, and the pay dirt model for DFS and for betting. And you can get all of it for like $20 more than it would cost you just to buy it a la carte at SaberSim. That's on the starter package. And there's a bunch of other packages you can get that are just way better. It's like 3 sites in one. It's way better than buying it a la carte. So I highly recommend it. Like and subscribe. It helps us out. Check out those packages at TrueDFS.com. Now let's get started with the normal process. What I usually do, and I'll do it today, is we take a look at projections just to give us an idea of who's bunching up. And it's helped us understand where the chalk may lies. And we do this little hand build before using SaberSim just to get an idea for where chalk is. It helps us with our no puck knowledge, get an idea for who's on what line, what may be changing. We sometimes look at the shift charts and who's playing with who. And it gives us a little bit more insight than just the lines that are plugged into SaberSim. And one thing we should note, there's a little bit of news today. It's nothing major because I think we've got it all captured, but Corey Perry's out, Trevor Moore's out, Anze Kopitar's out, and Joel Armia is out for the Kings. So a lot of guys out for the Kings, and yet they're still projecting really well. Now, we're going to have to be careful when we build with them that we get their lines right. So I'm going to go, they're jumping for value along with, it looks like Montreal, but even DFO isn't putting in lines. So we have no idea who's going to play where, which makes me inclined not to want to build with them so much. Let's see what they have for the power play. If I was going to build with them, if we think we're more certain about the power play, that's where I would go. Just because of the certainty of it. So let's see if they also have LaFerriere. We have LaFerriere as one of our top plays. Let's see if we could do the total onslaught. He looks like he'll be on line 1. I think that's pretty much a given that LaFerriere is going to be on line 1. Let's just say, hypothetically, we onslaughted him. It leaves us with so much left that we could use. We got Kemper as our best goalie. I mean, you could really do damage there. You could easily play a Celebrini. I'm not saying you have to do this, but you could go Celebrini and you can't play Celebrini against Kemper. So who else looks good in our value scores? You can get in like Caulfield, Lane Hudson. Caulfield, Hudson, no problem. And then you still have 4,800 a man. You can't play 3 from the same team here, so you can't correlate Kapanen. But as you could see, just looking at that, plenty you can do. And you still have money left over. So this is going to be like a salary left on the table when we build kind of thing. Let's see. Montreal is kind of popping. See what we could do with them. Line 1 is, I think they're still on the Caulfield, Slafkovsky, and Suzuki line 1. Let's make sure. Oh, no, that's right. Texier has been for a few weeks. And then Slafkovsky is with Demidov. So let's just say you wanted the power play for the onslaught. Take our best goalie despite the price. And it's pretty fine. If you want to get Texier in there and totally onslaught him or Kapanen, it is not hard. Let's see. Throwing a Texier for value And then you can start with those Kings guys, right? You can get like a Brant Clark. You got 5,200 left. Cousins going to be on power play 1, makes some sense. Or you could go this way. So just plenty you can do today. If you're not playing those teams, I imagine you could leave a ton on the table. Let's go to SaberSim now because it's going to solve it a lot better than we can. And I'm going to tell it to just build me 4 threes and above. I've explained the reason I've done this like a million times. I know it gets boring, but it's worth saying if you're new to watching this. The 4 threes and above just tend to grade way better in the post-contest sims. Now, that doesn't mean you can't have 4-2-2s and 4-2s and 3-3s and even 2-2-2-2s that grade well. But when you only get to build 5,000 lineups, you don't want to pollute the pool with too many garbage ones, right? You want as many like candidate lineups that are going to grade well as you can get. So given that I only get 5,000, I'm just inclined to stick with 4-3 and above to what grades the best in the post-contest sims over time. And we see that even on the smaller slates, it is so. So correlation is king. I don't think that lever is checked enough in NHL DFS. And so I go ahead and build that way. And I've had a lot of success doing it. So I recommend following suit if you're watching this to get an idea for process. Of course, like and subscribe too. Keep checking it out. Keep checking out the other videos on the channel. There's a lot going on. Bobby's going to be back with NBA tonight. She's going to have some football stuff tomorrow. It's the playoffs. There's a lot going on. So now we're going to build, it's a 142 max for the poke check. This just seems to be the contest that's like most popular amongst viewers that I've gotten the most questions about. And if you do have a question, feel free to ask. But we've seen a lot of people ask for the poke check, so I'm going to build a portfolio for that. That's why I put one in here. So SaberSim just works a little bit better with lineups already in. And so it's going to have this ready to go. I'm going to diversify and get a portfolio of 142, and I'll let you know where I'm going on today's slate. All right, so there's the Montreal, Hudson, Suzuki, Caulfield. You get Kempe in there, Schmaltz coming in, then the Fiala, Byfield, LaFerriere. So imagine we get to a lot of Kings. They got a lot of guys out, but it's a good spot. Goalie wise, pretty spread out. Kemper our highest. Fowler, new guy, right? Yeah, for Montreal. Casey DeSmith, Logan Thompson, but pretty spread out. The only guy we're not getting to is Merlainen, which, I don't know. You could have a game, but just not getting there against Utah. A little bit of Askarov for leverage against the Kings. A little bit of Dustin Wolf for leverage against Montreal. Right? Montreal and Kings going to be the 2 highest owned. Let's take a look at stacks. Tons of Kings, followed by Montreal and then Utah. Now, not as much Montreal as I thought we'd get, so we must be getting those guys as one-offs. Then you get Utah in there, some Washington, Calgary, just no love for Ottawa today. I guess the price just isn't right. The total is kind of there. It's not a bad total. I mean, right behind Montreal. But it doesn't compare to Utah. It's right behind Dallas and Washington, too. Let's see. In terms of onslaughts, ton of Montreal and Utah. Not a lot of Kings. So we're getting a ton of Kings. But it's mostly as the 4-mans and the fillers. These 3-mans, these 2-mans that allow you to spend up elsewhere. But not tons of like King onslaughts. Are we getting, yeah, I mean, we're getting a healthy dose of onslaughts in general, a lot of these 5-mans. And 6-mans, about at equal rate as we're getting the 4-3s. But there you have it. That is, like I said, a brief look at today's slate. using SaberSim and our projections to build lineups. We've got the Kings, especially as filler, some Montreal, some Utah. We're getting a Kemper at goalie, followed by Fowler. It's a Kings and Montreal kind of slate. So we will have that but plenty of other spots to diversify our portfolio in the 142 max for the 5-man. And with that, I wish you good luck on today's slate. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out TrueDFS.com where you can get access to all of this for just a little bit more than you'd pay for it a la carte. So it's really a good deal. I highly recommend it. And let's go. Let's make